combo him before he can find and play it. Enlightened Tutor's a little slower than Sterling Grove, obviously. Coast board, I guess he can add in Humility if he wants. Gerry has Ray of Revelation ×1 and some Crows and Grips. Reasonable.
That'll be
got the
helpful.
Duresses to go, or one Duress to go with his Thought Seasons.
Viridian Shaman.
Viridian Shaman has
not anything to.
no game.
Okay.
I don't see anything. Yeah.
Nothing to hit.
All right. So game one, it's really just going to be, you know,
Hope
I get there and hope he doesn't have it.
Right.
How fast can he? He can actually turn. I think turn 3 is the best he's got. Yeah, that's what it looks like. Turn 3 is the fastest he can mode up. So while we're shuffling, I have a little bit of a riddle.
All right.
I walked by AJ's game in the last round against the Grim Monolith deck, and AJ's graveyard was Fetchland, Show and Tell, Fetchland, Brainstorm, and his board was 3 lands and a Bird of Paradise. And I was just confused as to how that particular set of things had happened. And then further examination, you see the opponent is attacking with a Steel Hellkite. And then it becomes clear what happened, as AJ cast a turn 2 Show and Tell, and his opponent deployed Steel Hellkite, and then on the next turn attacked and used the ability for 10 to kill the Progenitus that AJ had dropped into play.
Yeah, wow.
For one of the sicker blowouts I've seen
Yeah,
today.
thanks for the show and tell. Thanks for the free Hellkite.
Pretty awkward.
That's nuts, yeah. It's kind of
AJ unenthused by that particular turn of events.
No, I don't think he'd be excited about that one.
Once again,
It's like,
$10 draft number 4 to the side venture, please.
Looks like Gerry is
Gerry's
taking a
shipping it
mulligan,
back
and
for
Paul, I guess, has already decided to keep, because he's not looking at his hand.
Yeah, I believe he's decided. He is juggling a pen. Oh, I thought that was a knife for a second. I was like, what?
It's like, I know how to beat
considered a
Gerry
threat,
T.
you know? It's like crazy. Let's not get crazy. Looks pretty relaxed. I don't know if he knows what Jerry's playing.
Yeah, I'm not sure. He may have already kind of scouted it out. He's a guy that we know from Baltimore. He won the Open Series in the Legacy Open Series in Baltimore actually back in September. So he's a pretty good player. I remember just endless mirror matches against him playing fairies in Standard. That's what I feel like. That's when I think of Paul, I always think of me and him both playing fairies, like doing pretty well at tournaments, and he would always beat me in the fairies mirror. But he's actually, I think, probably a better Legacy player than he is a Standard player. And I think he'd probably also be aware of kind of what Gerry T and some of the name players are playing. So
Yeah.
it's a nice tie he's got on.
Megan Holland birding Gerry,
Yeah,
her favorite son.
good call. I think she's out of cupcakes today, unfortunately.
Oh yeah, she's well out of cupcakes.
Joe's back.
Good, I didn't miss anything.
So, is anybody going on a food run that you know anytime?
We can have sales. if you
Okay.
like.
Just because if
We
we're going to take
strongly-
another break at some point, I would like to eat. So if somebody's either running to get it or
Strongly prefer Chipotle.
I don't know how
think
much
there's-
choice we've got. Well, we've got the game now.
Yeah. So all right. So we have a
Nettle
turn on
Sentinel
Nettle
into a
Sentinel.
fetch land.
Or
Sign
fetch land into a
Enchantress
Nettle
Presence right there. I don't see a moat. None of those cards are white.
No.
So that's fortunate.
So that a
There's
wild,
a gold,
wild
I
growth.
think, isn't there? Is there a Sterling Grove or is that a land? I can't really
He's
tell.
got a lot of foils, I think.
Yeah, it makes it more difficult
It
for
does.
camera when they shine.
And it changes the colors
Jerry's
a little
ice
bit
cold
too.
promote. We are
Yeah.
determined.
Yeah,
So
So there's a Bayou.
in game one.
right.
Yep. Off the Black Splash for Thoughtseize, which he's got
Yeah,
right
there
now,
he
so
is.
we might get a better look at the grip.
Yeah. And it's probably a good thing that Paul doesn't have the moat in his hand.
Can't win them all, I suppose. Presence, presence. lands as we thought.
Lands.
Oh, this is actually a
Wild Growth. Is that Miri's Guile?
Miri's Guile. Top during your upkeep, basically. This is definitely a solid hand for Gerry to look at. He's not too threatened. None of these cards are especially dangerous. The Miri's Guile combined with the fetch lands could help him dig up a moat or a similar threat, but right now he actually has no way to defend himself, and he's not going to be comboing off especially fast if Gerry can start presenting anything. And he just chuckled as he drew his card. He probably drew a redundant card. That's the sort of like standard, like.
Right. He's like, of course, right.
Probably maybe a second Miri's Guile. That would be a nice one. Or no, it's a second Presence. Yep. He has 2 Presents.
Yep.
So yep. The usual Thoughtseize followed by.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. He has a nice tie.
Yep. Drew a Presence.
Yep.
Not too big a deal here, but we did Elvish Visionary before attacking. We're thinking about that first. Yeah.
So he fetches for a forest.
Players in draft open number 2. Pairings for the first round have now been posted. Please find your seats.
Another Presence probably,
Also,
and then the Miri's Guile maybe.
Top 8
We
players
might want.
draft open number 1.
Yeah.
No, he's got a few different options. Most of them involve him drawing some cards.
Exactly. Yeah.
And we will direct you from
I think
there
those are the best
to your
ones.
top 8
He's not under a
matches.
significant clock just yet.
Yeah. So.
So
So
Wild
he goes for a
Growth
Wild
first.
Growth to draw a card.
Yeah. He's gonna probably Wild Growth, then play Presence, then play Guile. Just try and maximize what's going on.
Yeah, he's got 4 mana.
Got an Oblivion Ring in here.
Attention Magic
Yeah, he drew
players.
an Oblivion
Julio
Ring
Banerjee
first
and
trigger.
Scotty Ray to the side of
Sigil of the Empty
please.
Throne.
Yeah.
And Oblivion
Your
Ring.
booster draft is waiting for you. Again, Julio Banerjee and Scotty Ray to the main event stage, please. Your booster draft is
Gerry
waiting on
verifying he
you.
had all the mana he
Right.
implied. This is the 4th mana.
Oh, yeah. I thought you said.
Yeah. Okay. And a land and an Elephant Grass
Yeah. So.
off that one. So, not too bad. We can certainly beat those.
It's like.
Glimpse of Nature, the Unmulligan.
And now he's got the
Now we've got some combos going on here.
Heritage Druid.
Mono Elves. That's a land. And we got one more. We got a redraw with this guy, but.
Fauna Shaman.
Oh, what did we hit? I think it was another Glimpse. Yep, another Glimpse. Well, we'll save that for another day.
Yeah.
Got an attack with our Nettle Sentinel and a pass, unless there's a reason or not. I suppose he could be worried about not being able to make mana on the next turn, depending. Debating the merits and coming up with
Right.
time to get in there.
Passes a turn to Paul. Paul's going to use the
Actually got a nice
green
little
top.
Oops,
Yeah.
there's a Solitary Confinement and a Sterling Grove. Solitary Confinement will probably just do it. I don't see Gerry beating that card in this game.
Yeah, that's one I haven't seen in a while, but yeah,
Yeah.
that's
It just should be straight impossible to beat unless his opponent just decides to not keep it around.
Could you imagine if solitary confinement was legal in standard, like just like Jace solitary confinement, you pretty much can't target Jace with any burn. I mean, actually they could attack Jace, so.
Right.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking the fact that you skip your draw step, he's like, I don't care, I'll just draw off Jace.
Yep. And an Oblivion Ring for
Takes
no,
out the
no
Heritage
real
Druid.
purpose here.
Yeah.
He doesn't know that Gerry's drawing dead, of course. I'm pretty sure I would nix the Fauna Shaman in his position. If I have it
Yeah, I
out,
think
the
I would
Fauna
too,
Shaman's
just
what's going to find it, not the Heritage Druid.
Yeah, that makes
like if
sense to
Gerry's
me.
running a 1-of Kasali Pride Mage or some nonsense. But that's just not very likely. I'm curious what Gerry's thinking here, because we know he can't actually win.
Welcome to round number
Is he actually just hoping his opponent will mess it up, or is it just he may just want to see more of the deck? Maybe he's not especially familiar with Enchantress.
Sure.
Wants to know more of his opponent's bullets. That could be a valid reason to continue the game. It's a dangerous sort of thing to do though in Legacy, because the games tend to be very time intensive. We have a lot of draws.
So he sets up his next few cards, not necessarily his draws, because he's not going to be able to draw until he plays some enchantments. Discards
He's got some draws in there.
a forest there. Yeah, he'll be able to draw, just not his actual draw step.
I believe that was another Gerry helping him out with the slide, but I'm assuming it's just a Miri's Guile. I don't know why he wouldn't stack it. Gerry's going to scoop. Okay. Oh, it was an exploration actually, I bet. Nope, Elephant Grass. Oh, almost got it.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
So,
Gerry letting him in on the secret, I think.
Like, I had no idea.
I can't actually beat that card. Don't know why I was still playing Magic, really.
It's kind of like sitting here longer.
Yep. Post-board things will change, of course. I think Gerry may actually be favored post-board, although
He's got a lot more answers to something like Solitary Confinement.
His kill speeds up. He can take advantage of that disruption a lot better.
Buried Alive Vengevine option.
I don't think he'll go for that.
No.
I don't think it's... I mean, it's possible. I just don't think it's very efficient.
Yeah.
It's kind of a slow generation. Pizzas. We might just be in on the pizzas.
Right.
That's the plan.
Okay. So he's got Croson Grip. That'll certainly help. The Ray of Revelation. Essentially, like 4 ways to not three, but gets 4 enchantments.
He is capable of killing 4 enchantments post-war.
However, he's got a Duress, which
only can kill 4.
What do you think about Duress? I mean, he's got the Thoughtseize, bring in the Duress.
Yeah. I guess one might wonder what he's going to bring out.
Yeah, that's always the question. It's like, okay, so these are what looks like he could bring in. Oh, that's right, we have to cut things from the deck.
I don't think he's expecting sweepers, really. His opponent's more about just making the board irrelevant than actually killing anything, so... Gaia's Cradle still seems strong, but maybe you lose the crop rotation. The Pendelhaven can probably be boarded out. He can afford to slice a land in this spot, and the Pendelhaven's not a particularly relevant
it's not really
one.
doing a whole lot.
I'm not sure if he'll choose to. Elvish Visionary, it's okay. It tends to be more of a speed bump style card. Like
it's just
you
like
want to use it to chump a Tarmogoyf, so it's not great. What do we got him? He slid in the board. He's pulling cards out. He may just thin the numbers. I know that's how a lot of people board elves sometimes. They thin the numbers just to 1 here, 1 there, down to 3. They've got so many cards that overlap in functionality that it's not that big a deal to lose some.
Right.
They kept in the crop rotation.
Yeah, doing the... I mean, it's nice to be able to grab the
Cradle.
The Cradle, right, but it's not...
In this matchup, he did board out the Visionaries as expected, and then he slimmed a little. He cut a Shaman,
Oh, I see. So
a Ranger, I believe, was one of the cards. So that's what it looked like he did. The 3 Visionary, a Ranger, Shaman. That's my guess. It's hard to get a quick glance there.
Yeah, it's pretty tough.
But that would probably be about it. He's only got 4 to 5 cards to bring in. He may bring in the War Caller in an attempt to just kill his opponent from nowhere. Not sure how strong that is, but
yeah,
it's reasonable. Like if you're gonna only get a turn, like when you destroy that enchantment right then,
the War Caller
you definitely want to make the most of it. And Sterling Grove is really good against all of his enchantment kill because he can't afford to waste time killing a Sterling Grove. He only has 4 ways to kill enchantment, so if that's in play, it immediately burns one. And if his opponent plays a second one, then he's back to drawing dead to all the same cards.
Right.
No, I take it back. This actually is probably pretty dismal. Well, Thoughtseize will help. We've got a glimpse, some dudes. Is it 1 or 2? Well, only 1 Thoughtseize, I think. Yeah. Nettle Sentinel, that's the other card.
Paul going to Paris.
That's a good thing for Gerry.
Yeah.
I'm going to let you sit in the chair.
That sounds good.
I'm going to go ahead and figure out what's going on with our lunch.
Awesome, sounds good.
Try and track down some decks.
All right, cool. Thanks, bud.
Just found this on the table.
Sweet. Nice. Sweet. What table? That right there, somebody just left it.
Yeah. Awesome. So if you're just joining us, This is Big Head Joe, coming back to my seat, hanging out with my main man Joey Pasco here at the Star City Games Legacy Open Series. We're in round 5. We're watching Gerry Thompson versus Paul Lynch. Gerry is playing Elves and Paul is playing Enchantress.
Yeah, so we got a whole lot of forests and green mana producers happening, which just seems like quite a change. We haven't seen a whole lot of that. So Gerry leads off with the Llanowar Elves off of a bayou, and then Paul has a Badland, Scrubland? Yeah, Scrubland. And what is that? What?
Brush.
No, the enchantment he played.
Oh, it's Utopia Scroll.
Oh, okay. It's like it's one of the wild growth effects. So Gerry says second turn Thoughtseize and sees Mirri's Guile, Horizon Canopy, Elephant Grass, white card. Is that Humility?
Oh wow, look at that.
And he looks to have taken the Humility, if that was what it was. I'm pretty sure it was. Seems about right for Gerry. That's one way to deal with enchantments without actually having to destroy them. And he goes with a Wirewood Symbiote. Oh, Savannah. I'm like, which the green white? What is it?
I kept thinking Brushland. That's a green white Painland.
Yeah. Well, I thought. I'm sorry. It's been so long since I played with revised duels.
I know, right?
So there's the Horizon Canopy. Yeah, Scrubland is white-black, and then Badlands is, the red-black, yeah.
Right.
So
I knew Scrubland was the black-white one.
Yeah, I was thinking Badlands was the black-white, and Scrubland was the green-white. I don't know why. So anyway, another Utopia Scrawl, a Mirri's Guile, and an Elephant Grass, all from Paul. Elephant Grass could be an issue, except that that cumulative upkeep is going to become a burden.
Right.
Let me see.
Oh, I was wondering. I was wondering why I was looking at the computer. I was wondering why, I looked over and he had all those cards sitting down. Because Gerry Thoughtseize them. Great.
So he lets the Elephant Grass die. Basically played it as a fog.
Yeah.
There's Enchantress's Presence, and then a second Elephant Grass, allowing him to draw a card and pass the turn.
And at this point, he can probably why does it keep turning the one card upside down?
I'm having trouble seeing that. Is that Kyrian Ranger?
Yeah. Why is it upside down?
So Gerry's got a Thoughtseize.
Oh, it's to show that he already used it.
That makes sense.
So he doesn't lose track, I
Yeah,
guess.
he returns it with the Wirewood Symbiote. Yeah, that makes sense. Plays it again. Drawing lots of cards off of that Glimpse of Nature.
He's thinking very hard.
So, Miri's Guile shows Paul another Enchantress's Presence, another Miri's Guile, and what is that? Man, his foils really have. His foils really make it difficult to see what he's playing because they shift the colors, and you're like, what is that? What artifact is it? Oh, it's a plains, something like that. And I think that's what that was, a plains. I saw it really quick.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, it's a plains,
Yeah.
right? And I mean, but I only saw the edge of it, and I thought it was like gray, like an artifact would be, So he's going to pay the upkeep on the elephant grass this time.
Seems like a good plan.
Yeah, at this point, I'd rather not just keep playing fogs. So he plays a plains. It's a wild growth on his plains. Draws a card. Plays another Enchantress's Presence. Draws a card. Plays a Miri's Guile. Draws two. He's going to draw 2 cards. Is that another Elephant Grass? Yeah, it is. And
Wow.
I can't tell what the other card was. It looked like it could have been just a foil forest, but it could have been something else. So he returns Nettle Sentinel. There's that Sentinel again. And a second Sentinel. Wow, okay, Fauna Shaman.
Awesome,
off the top.
Shaman.
Thinned Horn Elves. He's using the Wirewood Symbiote to return the Kyrian Ranger. Plays the Kyrian Ranger. Drawing a... I'm having trouble seeing that one. Is it a second Kyrian Ranger? No. Or is it? It's tough to see.
Storm count's pretty high at this point.
I just realized, I was like, did you just say storm count? Played a nice glare, and then it is Kyrian Ranger. He plays a third Nettle Sentinel. Fauna Shaman, draws a Fauna Shaman. This is pretty explosive at this point. He's got a third Fauna Shaman also in his hand, which he's playing right now. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
Maybe it was an accident.
It's a
As Regal Force.
Regal Force, right? Wow.
I'm really having trouble. I mean, I'm sure everybody else is seeing that pile of glare. Okay, so
Yeah.
there's 3 Fauna Shamans, a Fyndhorn Elves, a Llanowar Elves, and then 2 cards in between that I'm having trouble seeing. One of those has to be a Heritage Druid, right? I mean, unless there's a Heritage Druid somewhere else.
No,
because
I'm
he's
almost
got a
certain.
Heritage Druid in play. At least he's playing as if he does.
Yeah. So he just draw basically his whole deck. Paul just needs to go moat.
Yeah,
Next
pretty much.
turn.
Yeah, it's like, okay, it's getting out of hand. That's Sterling Grove. I think that's what it was. The one I thought was a foil forest.
Oh wow. Not
All right, so they're going to game
forest.
3, making it exciting for us.
Yeah. I can't say I wasn't a little lost there watching all of the interactions with elves. But,
It's such a thing with elves. Like, it's just, I mean, it makes sense when you're doing it. You know, I mean, you almost want to, like, it's like reading a book, right? Page by page, everything makes sense when you're just reading it in order. Like, I'm going to read this page, turn it, I'm going to read the next page. Everything makes sense. But, like, sometimes if you miss a page, it's kind of like taking the book and just, you know, looking. It's like looking at all the pages at once. Kind of all. It doesn't make sense. It's just a bunch of words and
It's like
really
taking every page of a book,
yeah,
sticking it all out
on a table,
on a table, and just
being
going read.
Yeah,
It's like, can I look close?
That's
No.
it's a better analogy.
No,
right? It's
just read
it's
it
like
all.
a book whose pages have all been torn out and scattered across the table. Like, what? Wait, what is happening here? What happened? I missed a page, and now I'm really confused.
Like, I know it's the kind of deck in Legacy that's right up my alley because, as Mike Flores knows, I love a good green spell.
What does Mike Flores' nose have to do with it? So go
Oh,
ahead,
well,
go
no, I'm
ahead.
saying when I'm Mike Flores' nose. As Mike Flores, speaking as Mike Flores' nose, I like a good green spell. That's what I,
Yeah. So what are you saying? I mean, seriously though, like with the, it's the kind of spell that, or the kind of deck that you would like to play because it's green, or is it because, like, you know? Because
Speaking as Mike Flores' nose,
I stopped. I was just.
it was a
I
green
shouldn't have
spell.
even said that.
It's a green spell. No, it's not.
Very nice. Okay. So
You signed up
Talk
for
about the deck.
EDH number 2.
Huh?
Please come up to the side of the stage. We're ready to start.
Somebody already stole all of them?
EDH
Yeah.
Number 2. Please come up to the side of the stage. We're getting ready to start.
yeah, I'm gonna toss mine over. Oh, you got it. I think is there a marker over here? All right. So. Cool. Sure. Where's your marker? All right. So, if you're just joining us, you're watching live coverage of the StarCityGames.com Open Series in Washington, D.C. We're watching the Legacy portion. We're here in round 5 watching Gerry Thompson and Paul Lynch face off in a mono-green standoff, although Gerry Thompson, not exactly mono-green, Gerry Thompson is running like a black-green elves list, elf combo, and then Paul Lynch, who is a sort of local to DC, he's actually local to Baltimore, is running an Enchantress list, which is more green-white, but for the most part, a lot of green stuff happening here. So they've so far split the match. Obviously, going to game 3 here. Paul won game 1, and Gerry managed to combo out on game 2.
I have normal ones too.
Should I give myself a unibrow?
Do it.
No.
I blacked out both my eyes on one of them and gave myself a beard that went all the way down to the edge of the token on the other one.
Is this your guys?
Yeah, it's theirs.
Yeah, cool. Thanks.
Sorry, we had people asking us to sign our tokens.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny. And of course, I'm not content just signing them. I have to draw elongated beards and color in my eyes on them.
So Paul leads off with the forest with a Utopia Sprawl, passes the turn. Gerry, who kept his 7, I think Paul mulliganed with fancy counters there on the Utopia Sprawl. So there's a wild growth on that same forest.
Why is there a counter on this one?
He's there. I think they're using it to keep track of which color he named.
Oh, good call, good call.
He probably should just buy like 5 different colors of little, durdles. Everybody likes that word, especially with Gerry T. Gerry T's word, durdle. But no, like just little beads or something, and that way he doesn't have to like write on a straw wrapper. So Gerry cracks a foothills, grabbing a bayou.
All right, Gerry can successfully cast Doran this turn. But he's probably not going to, is he? No, it's just a Fauna Shaman. I can name all
So
of
there's a Sterling Grove.
Fine.
Sterling Grove, Elephant Grass, making things a little bit difficult for Gerry, but Gerry is, as we've seen, doesn't necessarily. I don't think that necessarily scares him. Wirewood Symbiote. So on Gerry's side of the board, we have a Wirewood Symbiote, Kyrian Ranger, Findhorn Elves, and a Fauna Shaman. Also, notably, a Gaia's Cradle, which is it's a pretty hefty amount of mana just from that one land. What's that?
Yeah.
It's got 4 mana just off of the Gaia's Cradle. So he returns the Ranger, discards it to a Fauna Shaman.
Gerry apparently not content with not being able to play survival anymore.
Yeah. Like, I'll
solve this problem.
I'll play a different survival deck. Now, it sounds like there are several players in this room playing Gerry's list, or maybe it's not even Gerry's list, but playing the same deck as Gerry.
Yeah.
There's a Heritage Druid.
Nicholas.
Which he plays.
We know things can get pretty ugly from there. But it doesn't look like he has.
Yeah, so let's see if Paul can do something here. So he does. He uses the elephant grass essentially as a fog there,
right?
Which is fine,
Which
I think.
Can do again next turn.
And
Next turn too.
Trying to make a decision here. He's got a windswept heath, another elephant grass.
Competitive draft number 2 to the side of the area, please. Where Judge Daniel is going to get you started. That's competitive draft number 2.
So he plays the windswept heath. I think I see. Is that a ghostly prison in his hand? It must not be. What was it that? Oh, it was replenish. I think. Maybe. Yeah, I just saw a white card, and again the foil thing throwing me off here. So the windswept heath gets a whatever that land is.
It's cool. We can troll too. We can troll right from the booth.
I think that's brushland.
Yeah. No. That's taiga. It's definitely taiga. Definitely taiga.
Oh, he searched for a heath with the windswept heath. That's what it was. So there's a Tezzeret. No, I'm just kidding. That's an Oblivion Ring with. So he Oblivion Rings the Heritage Druid.
Oh. Return to hand in response.
And he plays the Elephant Grass.
But I guess he's a little mad. Oh no, he's not mad. He has a Gaia's Cradle. Never mind.
No, he's got plenty of mana.
Yeah, he has plenty.
So there's the Thoughtseize. That seems good, and it's the Replenish,
which was kind of useless at this point.
Yeah, he basically has Elephant Grass in his graveyard. I don't think anything else. Like, it's hard to tell. But. So there is a Caves of Koilos.
We can just keep going with this all day.
No, stop now. So he taps the Gaia's Cradle for 3, and
discards the Heritage Druid.
Discards the Heritage Druid, gets a
mirror entity.
Mirror entity, nice, and that's
oh boy.
That's quite an elf.
Yeah.
Attention Magic players, I'm looking for Max Margolis. Max Margolis, your booster draft is waiting on you. Again, Max Margolis, Judge Daniel, inside area, please.
Sorry.
Your draft is
loud
waiting for you.
All right, so Paul just paid the cumulative upkeep on the Elephant Grass, and then passed the turn back to Gerry after playing a Horizon Canopy. But I believe Paul is empty-handed at the moment, besides that pen that he has clipped to his fingernail.
I think Paul might be on tilt after they just announced Max Margolis' name over the speaker.
Attention Legacy players, there are now 10 minutes remaining in round 5.
And that just seriously made him jump. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's really loud. So Gerry, I think, is doing some math here, trying to figure out how much mana he can decide to pay for that Elephant Grass, because Elephant Grass only keeps non-black creatures from attacking, and the other creatures can attack if their controller pays too. So he's obviously got some mana there, and he can swing in. But he wants to use the rest of that mana to make the mirror entity to pump the rest of the creatures if he can.
I think we're going to do Curdy next round. He's 5-0.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Make sure we talk to Glenn about that. Oh, I can IM him.
Gerry is talking everyone through his turn.
All right, Magic players, let's try this one more time. I'm looking for Max Margolis. Max Margolis, to the sidelines area. Your draft is waiting on you.
Everybody's All right, so looks like Gerry is still trying to figure out how to deal with the mirror entity. I mean, not how to deal with it, but how to best make use of it,
Right.
and at the same time get through Paul's elephant grass. He needs to pay 6 to do that. So there's the 6, right? He just paid 6, and he's tapping 3 to use the mirror entity to make both of his guys 3/3 changelings. So it looks like he gets in for 6 there.
All three guys are.
No, but the Finderhorn Elder just added mana.
Oh, okay. Got it.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, unless he added him to the attack, but I was pretty sure he. Either way, if they could all 3 guys could each be 2/2 and get in for 6, or 2 guys can be 3/3.
True.
Although apparently that was 8. Not. Maybe I did the math wrong. Maybe the life totals were wrong on the screen, but I thought he made them. I thought he got 5 out of the Gaia's Cradle, 1 out of his Bayou, right? So that's the 6 for the 3 creatures. Oh, that's what it was. I'm sorry, it was only 2 creatures attacking.
Gets the moat.
There's the moat. So yeah, he used the Sterling Grove, sacrificed it, grabbed a moat, and that's on top of his library. Now he is, looks like he's considering, yeah, for a second he thought maybe he would pay, I don't know. So he declines to pay for the elephant grass, and then plays moat and passes the turn. So
There we go.
Here, here it matters what did Gerry bring in from the sideboard.
Right.
What does he have? He's got here the options he has right now at this point. 2 Krosan Grip and a Ray of Revelation. I don't think anything else he has can deal with that moat at the moment. And I think Paul is cheering over there. Either that or he was like flexing his muscles or something. I don't know. Yeah, he looks like he's just trying to stretch, but it's been sitting there for a while. And now I think he's relaxing a little bit because, wow, that moat is, while Paul doesn't actually have a win condition on board, for the moment, neither does Gerry until he deals with that moat.
Yeah. Wow. All right. Paulie is right back in this.
Yeah, I miscounted the mana. I was thinking he was attacking with 3 creatures, but I think he was only attacking with 2.
There were 4/4s.
Yeah.
Is that right?
4/4. Yeah, it must have been it.
Yep.
So it's all good. So Gerry can't do much. Passes a turn. Paul draws his card. He has a Miri's Guile and something else in his hand. A Miri's Guile, and is it another Oblivion Ring, or is it a? I don't know what it was. I saw
didn't
something
see.
very quickly. So Miri's Guile is going to give him a little bit of selection on the top of his library.
It's probably
Obviously.
prison term. No, I'm
Oh
kidding.
no, it's a Runed Halo.
Rune Halo. All right.
I didn't even see that in the list. I kind of missed it when we were looking through.
Yeah, I think it's a one of. I think of the deck. But
Now, what did he point to? Did he choose Mirror Entity? Like, I don't know if that even matters. Like, what does he choose? Did he choose Wirewood Symbiote? Like, I actually didn't see what he named, or I obviously didn't hear what he named, and I don't know if he pointed to what he named. So there's a Kyrian Ranger from Gerry. Gerry trying to figure out a way to solve that moat.
yeah, he did go through his sideboard right after it was played. So
Yeah, he's like, wait a minute, what did I side in, or what did I not side in?
right,
Possibly.
so he knows.
I mean, he knows he should be bringing in enchantment hate. It is Enchantress that he's playing in, so maybe he was just double checking. Like, I just want to make sure that there are no enchantment hate cards in my sideboard still.
Yeah. Alrighty.
Paul looks like he's feeling pretty confident. There's Glimpse of Nature. So here's what I think, Gerry's just going to cast as many creatures as possible to try to draw into some of that enchantment hate. Is that a Croson Grip? I believe that was a Croson Grip.
Croson Grip.
And Heritage Druid. Gerry just continues on as if that's not what he drew, like as if he's still, which is very smart. He didn't pause on the Croson Grip. It was kind of like, all right, another card, another creature, another card. Heritage Druid. This is going to be interesting. Fyndhorn Elder, or Fyndhorn Elves, I'm sorry. Wirewood Symbiote. Fetch land he just drew. Organize my side of the board over here. There's the Mirror Entity again. Nettle Sentinel. Yeah, that's the thing with Glimpse of Nature. If you can use it, you can use it.
Yeah.
It's unfortunate. If he can untap that Gaia's Cradle, that would be nice. But does he have anything that untaps Gaia's Cradles?
That untaps it? Well, he can return it to his hand.
And replay it, yeah.
Players, pairings for two-headed giants are being posted. Round 1 pairings for 2HG are being posted. Please find your seats.
Wait a minute, what can he return?
Oh, no, it's a forest.
Yeah, I was going to say,
forest, that's right.
Peering Ranger only does forests.
God, that would be...
So... kind of surprised he's not, maybe he is, but somehow keeping track of what's summoning sick after all these creatures that he's playing.
Right.
Maybe he's just really not expecting to try to win on this turn or anything, or try to get in on this turn, but the fact that he... Oh, there it is.
Yep.
So Gerry draws the Croson Grip, takes out the moat, and is able to apparently swing in for enough damage to take the match. But wow, that's what he needed, right?
Yeah.
That's how you do it. He had
like a master. So now
right.
why?
Well, here not necessarily like a master. He played Glimpse of Nature, and it was like the second or third card. But even if it wasn't, it could have been. I don't know how many cards he just drew off that Glimpse of Nature.
Yeah.
It was upwards of 10, 15 cards that he drew. So wow, we just drove through a mine shaft or something, Rashad.
Go back. Can we do more mine shaft action? Can we go through the mine shaft a little bit? Is it possible?
Wow. So yeah, like I said, not even whether or not that card was